All right, I'm getting ready to do a barbershop hair cutting tutorial. Not barbershop, but hair cutting tutorial on how to cut a baby's hair in a small kitchen. uh, I'll be right back. I'm missing one thing. I need to go get a pick to pick his hair out first. Be right back. Hey Gabe, this is my son Gabriel Joseph, and this is his third haircut. He is 1 year old. First thing I'm doing is I'm picking this faux hawk out so I can get an even cut. And if I don't pick it out and then I try to cut it, it's not going to be even because some parts are matted down and some parts aren't. So you want to pick it out to get it as even as possible. And I'm giving them just the same haircut with a little fade on the side, probably light fade, close to probably a ball fade. It's going to be a low ball fade, faded down here around the ears. Then I'm going to give them some kind of part at the end. Last time you had a straight part, a straight back. I might do the same thing, or I might do a slanted part. So, got the top picked out. You don't have to worry about the sides too much. I mean, you can comb them a little bit. It's kind of low already, but you're gonna cut that anyway, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Take my clippers out. Just have some inexpensive wall clippers from Walmart. Has a little lever on the side here. You can see it there, where you can adjust the height of the blade right here. And so I'm going to start with the blade. I'm gonna put it all the way closed, so then it's going to cut to its shortest, the shortest length with the blade all the way closed. I'm gonna do that all. I'm gonna give him first. Start off with it like giving him a chili bowl all the way around his head. And starting off right in front of his ear, going right above his ear. I don't really want to go higher than above his ear because I don't want to take the fade too high. That gives me some room to fade. Then I'm gonna drop the chili bowl line in the back. I'm gonna take it right around right on top of what they call the occipital bone. The little bone that's in the back of our head is usually between right in the middle of our head, and then also in the middle of the back of our ears. It's like a little bone. Some people have a hook right here, occipital bone, and so that's where I'm gonna take the line to in the back. I'm working with a small space. Scoot them a little closer. I know you probably saw a little open sign we have in the kitchen. That just means the barbershop is open. Not really, but don't ask me why we have an open sign in our kitchen. So I'm doing the same thing on the other side, on the right side, just going taking the chili bowl right above his ear. Then I am going to take it. I'm gonna put on a 1 guard. Put a 1 guard on the clippers. I'm gonna close the clippers all the way again, and then I'm gonna start to cut downward to cut the hair off. I don't want to cut too much hair off because I want it to still be dark around this area so that it can have a nice blend, a nice fade from the top of the head down to that line that I just made. But I do want this hair to come off, but not all the way. I want it still a little dark, not all the way dark. I got a little fan on the ground blowing on them and myself because it gets kind of hot. And that helps to keep the baby calm, I think. Yeah, he's 1 year old. Let's see, he turned 1 in August, so this is October. So that's what, 15 months? 15-month-old baby. Just got him in this little high chair. He hardly ever sits in this anymore, but this is just for when I'm cutting his hair. Now I'm just going down, cutting down around his head. Turn the chair a little bit. If I was in the shop, I'd have my chair that I could turn and raise up and down and stuff, but I'm at home, so I don't have that. So we just gotta work with what we got. Maybe one day when we get a house, we'll be able to have a barber chair at the house. A little room to cut hair in or something. Doing the same thing on the left side here. Just starting really around the crown of the head is what I'm doing, and cutting down. I'm getting hair on his face, so I'm gonna just take this little brush and brush the hair off. That can be annoying. I don't want to get in his eyes and mouth and stuff, even though some may. Try to prevent that as much as possible. Keep cutting until I have pretty much an even cut all the way around from the crown, which is not. It's like right around. It's like a U shape around your head at the top. If you can see, the crown is about right here all the way around. I'm moving his head, but I think you get it. Okay. Now I'm gonna pick it out. I like to make sure everything kind of stays even so I can cut evenly. Pick it out again and the top. Just want to make sure that I just go over what I just did a little bit and make sure it's all even. I'm gonna fade that, so I don't need to make sure it's completely even, but I'm gonna fade it out. And then I'm gonna go just above the crown that I just was cutting around, and I'm gonna cut forward because the hair pattern grows in like an umbrella, starting with the middle right here, and then it goes forward. It goes diagonally to the side on each side, and then it goes down. Most people say most of our hair patterns. So I'm cutting right above the crown, diagonally to the front. But I opened. What I did was I kept the 1 guard on, and instead of having the blade all the way closed, where it's all the way closed, I'm opening it up so that I can leave more hair in the area that I'm cutting right now. Sit up. just cutting down in the back now, because that's the way his hair grows. It's down right directly in the back behind the faux hawk on top. Still, I'm right below the crown now. I let a little darkness of the hair drop a little bit right below the crown, but above the occipital bone. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to turn them to the side a little bit. The first line I made, I cut out real light because I had no guard on. I had the clippers all the way closed, the blades as close as they could go, and I made like a line, a chili bowl. That's what I called it, all the way around. But underneath that line was light, and then it's like a Mr. T. It's still hair left right there. I'm gonna just in the end, I'm gonna make that bald, so I'm gonna just leave it for right now and work on the haircut itself. And then at the very end, I'm gonna come back and clean that up. I'm gonna cut it off. That's what I mean by cleaning it up. I'm gonna cut that hair off, the extra hair that's on the bottom of that line. So now what I'm gonna do is finish cleaning this area out. I see that I missed some spots, so just clean that out. Now I'm gonna begin to fade up. I'm gonna close the guard all the way, still one guard, close it all the way, and start to fade up to the crown area. Kind of got to work a little fast, because especially with babies, because their attention span is not that long, and their comfort level is probably not the best in this hot kitchen, small kitchen. With hair blowing all over them and stuff. And also, you want to cut a little fast because the clippers will get hot. I'm sure you experienced that. And for the clippers getting hot, what I have is, they get too hot, I have some Cool Care, and this Cool Care spray you can get at like Sally's Beauty Supply. And what it does, it cools, it disinfects, it's a lubricant, it's a cleaner, and it's a rust preventative. So that's what this is for. But it cools the clippers, it cleans them. I cleaned them off when I finished last time, so that's why you didn't see me clean them off this time. I just work my way around, fading up to the crown. All the way around, brush them off. Trying to remember to talk on each step. This is the first video I've done like this, to kind of explain what I'm doing. I've been cutting now for almost 20 years, I think, since I was 15. I'll be 34. Lord willing, I'll be 34 this Friday. All right, so I got it faded with the one guard. Now I'm gonna take the guard off, and I'm gonna put a half guard on there, a Walls half guard. It's a 1/16. I'll go check on my other two kids in the living room real quick. Yeah, you're next. See, we about 15 minutes into the video. I'm gonna try not to go longer than 30 minutes. Yeah. You're doing a good job, man. You're doing a good job, Gabriel. Yeah. So I took the guard off, the 1/16 guard. Now I'm gonna open my clippers all the way back up, the blade, adjust the lever, open them all the way back up, and I'm gonna continue to fade that line, that first original line out that I made. Fading it out, it's pretty much, the fade is pretty much done. After this part right here, and so now it's pretty much blended all the way into the lowest part that I created at the beginning of the haircut. Just fading around, making sure I got a nice blend from light to dark or dark to light. Fading up. I go forward, turn it over and go down or forward a little diagonally, forward on the sides a little bit just to blend it a little more. Tried to get Gabe first because he was sleepy in case he started to cry, and he'll just fall asleep. So I wanted to cut his hair first before I cut our oldest son, which is 3. Sometimes it's better to cut babies' hair when they're sleepy or when they fall asleep, so they won't move and squirm all over the place. They can get a nice cut. All right, man. Dad's trying to work fast for you. Greg. 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 One second, I'm gonna check on my oldest son. What you doing, man? Okay, you next. Next. They were a little quiet in there. Him and his sister, Kaden. I had to go check on him. Right. Now I'm gonna switch clippers. I'm gonna take out some old Andy's edgers that just a random client. I don't even cut them anymore. He walked into the shop one day and told me that his ex-wife used to cut his hair, and she wasn't cutting his hair anymore. So he gave me these old edgers. These are Andy's pivot edgers. So I cleaned them up, got some new blades for them, and use them here at home. So I'm gonna use these to take that hair off that I was telling you about at the bottom of his head, that's around his head like Mr. T, that's underneath that first U shape that I made. And when I get to the top, I'm gonna start at the bottom of the hairline, and when I get to the top of the U shape that I created, where the hair is, I don't know if you can see it, all the way around. I'm gonna start when I get to the top of that, I'm gonna rock out. I'm not just gonna stop, because that's gonna create a definite line. So I'm gonna cut up, and then when I get right to the top, when it's cut off, I'm gonna rock out towards myself. I'm gonna do that all the way around. I like to cut it real low around the bottom because it gives it a good look, a good blend from dark to real light or bald. And also because on kids, they don't like to sit still for the edge up. So if you cut it bald where the edge up should be on the sides and the back, then you won't have to edge them up because it's bald. You don't have anything to edge up. Getting all around his neck. Once again, just rocking out towards myself, and instead of just leaving the clippers on the head, I cut and rock out. All right, Gabriel, turn your head this way. Yeah. You getting a haircut? Yeah. Let's see. Mom gonna be happy. My wife is at work. So I thought I'd get the boys a haircut. She's been wanting a haircut, and I have too. Instead of, thought about doing something productive. Thought I'd do something productive instead of sitting on Facebook all day, even though that can be productive somewhat, sometimes, but not if I spend my whole life on there, I guess. Greg. What you doing, man? Are you going next? Are you get now? Huh? Yep. Yep. I'm not combing his hair. I'm brushing his hair, and I'm cutting his hair. I'm gonna cut your hair next. He's almost done. Just continuing to pick the top out. I'm getting ready to shape it up just a little bit. What's Kaden doing, Greg? Okay, now I got the bottom cleaned all up on the bottom around his head, so the fade is pretty much done. See a few dark spots still, so I'm gonna take my wall clippers again, the first ones that I had, and I'm gonna just knock those dark spots out. Just kind of clean it up. If I see any dark spots, adjust the clippers accordingly to the height of the hair and you know how I need to fade it. It probably doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense to me. But I just adjust the clippers according to where or how I need to fade it. And knock and clean it up, knock the dark spots out all the way around. I'm getting sleepy now, but that's okay. Let's see, Gabriel. Go this way. All right, man, I'm almost done. You gonna let Daddy trim the top up and edge you up, give you a part. And then you can go back and take a nap and play, whatever you want to do. So now I have the guard off still. Now I'm just about to shape the top up. Just in a faux hawk shape, triangle shape, where the point is at the top. So I'm holding my clippers at an angle. Not really pressing into the head, just kind of trimming on the hair, on top of the hair, and not having the blade all the way on the scalp or the head. Probably gonna do this probably twice to get a good even cut. Even though I've been picking it out, I'm gonna pick it out one more time after I shape it up to make sure I cut it pretty even. And he had this cut last time, so his faux hawk was already pretty much formed. Now I'm just shaping it up. Really don't have to create it like I did the first time. But if you are cutting this haircut and you need to create it, you just save this part to the end. Do all the other steps first, and then create it at the end. And just kind of cut up to like a cone to the top of the head like that. Right back. Greg. Back. Go back to the TV. They're in there watching TV and taking all the wipes out of the wipes box. So I'm gonna pick it out one more time and shape it up one more time. It'll be good. Then I'm gonna edge it up, put the part in, and then we'll be done.
You done?
Yep, and then it'll be your turn, Greg. Pick it out, trim it up. See a few more dark spots around the fade, so I'm just knocking that out. Go back up here to trimming it up some more. Are you asleep? Are you asleep? You see yourself on the video? Can you see yourself? Brush them off. Continue to trim them up until you got it looking pretty even, the way you want it. Then I'm gonna put the one guard back on and go around the very front, around his hairline, because I'm getting ready to line it up. And I like for that just to be kind of a little low where I'm lining it up, laying down on this kind of so it lays down on his forehead. Makes for a better line, more defined line. I'm gonna spray my Cool Care, Andy's Cool Care on the edges so that the blades can move fast, so it can give a good crispy sharp line. Brush it off with my little, I just got one of my old toothbrushes. Instead of throwing it away, I decided to keep it for my clippers, brushing the hair out of the teeth of the clipper blades. And now I'm starting to edge them up. Now on the edge up, a good guide to use for the side part, I'm gonna try to. My goal is to make a square. So on the side part of the square, I want a straight line going all the way down to the corner of his eye or eyebrow area on both sides. And I'm gonna take my small tooth taper comb to comb the hair around the edge up, because the hair is short, small area, short hair works best for me. Some people use brushes. I like to use comb, small tooth comb. Now I'm just going straight across the front part of his hairline. I kind of anticipate his little jumps because he likes to move sometimes. So I won't cut into his haircut with the edges and mess it up. So anticipate him moving, and then I'll move the clippers off his head when he moves. He's getting sleepy. You getting sleepy, man? You're almost done. There, you can sit back. You can lay back. There you go. Going across the front. And you can go do the sides first. Probably be better to make sure you got them even, both sides even. But I'm just doing the front just for the sake of time, just going through it. Now I'm gonna go to, I did basically a little past half the front. Now I'm gonna go to the other side and do the side part of the square on the line. And with the line going straight down towards the corners of the eye and eyebrow, and the top part not all the way into the haircut. Just I stop right before the horizontal line. I stop right before the horizontal line meets the vertical line on the square. Okay, man, you're next. Look at me, Gable. Look at that. Okay, now I think I'm gonna do a diagonal part this time instead of a straight back part. And I'm gonna curve it into a straight back part. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm doing a diagonal basically right from the middle of his head, like right where his nose is. Curved all the way back, right before his ear starts. You ready, Greg? You ready? What's Kaden doing? You right there? And then on the sides, right underneath the square part, is on both sides. It's a backward C and a regular C, and I just edged it up halfway through the C and halfway through the backward C because it fades to bald. So you can't of course you can't edge baldness up. So that's I edged what I could up, the hair that's available to cut. And then I just stopped edging up where it fades out to bald. It gives for a nice look. He's 1 year old, 15 months, but he has sideburns, so I'm just edge little sideburns up. I think that looks cool on little kids and little babies. Go up to the other side and edge the other sideburn up, and then he'll be done. All right, he's finished. Now all I'm gonna do is brush him off. He's asleep. He's knocked out. Haircut is finished. Okay, you're next. Then I'm gonna put some alcohol. Just put a little alcohol on or some kind of astringent. I use alcohol here at home and put it around the bald part of his hair on his head, and also around the edge up to keep his pores clean and skin clean, keep him from getting infected, just to clean everything up. And that's it. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.